Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. Jake Gyllenhaal is no stranger to taking on immensely stressful films, especially those involving war themes like Jarhead, or his new film Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. It's in theaters and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. Guy Ritchie's latest is set in 2018 Afghanistan, where US troops have Afghan interpreters assigned to their teams. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Master Sergeant John Kinley, whose team is tasked with finding Taliban weapons and artillery. His latest interpreter, Ahmad, who's played by Salim, is hired after a roadside bombing killed members of Kinley's team. Now, Kinley and Ahmad have very different methods of working on these intensely dangerous encounters with the Taliban. After their team is caught and ambushed, Ahmad and Kinley find themselves as the lone survivors running on foot. The film is a two-part survival story of trust and bond that's built from two men who come from very different backgrounds. Guy Ritchie not only directed the film, but co-wrote the screenplay with Ivan Atkinson and Marn Davis. Now, while this specific story is fictional, it's inspired by the real US soldiers and the relationships that they have with their Afghan interpreters. And I'd like to say that the less you know about this film, the better, as you're certainly put on a jaw-dropping ride of life or death. What's important to know, though, in the second half of the film really deals with Ahmed not giving the protections that he was promised by the US government like interpreters were supposed to have. It's evident that they were thought of as traitors by their own community for helping the US, but now aren't even given the freedoms by the US that they were promised. For me, it's Guy Ritchie's strongest film in quite some time. He feels at home with the genre, and the focus needed to help the audience maybe re-examine whatever feelings we have about the war in Afghanistan. His script wastes no time at jumping into the thick of John Kinley's mission and the dangerous and yet tedious task at hand. He doesn't allow for a lot of room for deviating from the main story at hand. Now, we do get some video messages back home to showcase the life that John has left behind, but that is kept at a minimum. Ritchie keeps the film fairly relentless once survival mode kicks in for Kinley and Ahmed. It's a stressful, edge-of-your-seat ride the majority of the time. Now, Jake Gyllenhaal is always strong with these types of characters, but I actually think he shows quite a bit of restraint here as Kinley. He's less volatile and explosive than some of his more recent characters, as he really harnesses all of this emotion and aggression until a very specific scene between him and his superior. Salim gives a really breakout performance with the strength that he gives Ahmed. Guy Ritchie's The Covenant is a story of the power of brotherhood against all odds. These characters and the real-life soldiers of the Afghan war have resentment, trauma, and PTSD. And the closing credits give tribute to our veterans and the interpreters that have risked everything, only to have their lives and families continue to be at risk. I'm giving Guy Ritchie's The Covenant 4 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have some other reviews, some celebrity interviews. I did interview Jake a couple of years ago for The Guilty, so you may want to check that interview out as well. Make sure to go see Guy Ritchie's The Covenant at your local Imagine theaters. This movie is meant to be seen on the big screen, and I just always love that theatrical experience. Make sure to follow them on social media at ImagineMN, EMAGINEMN. They have some fantastic programming coming up. I'm going to be doing a monthly movie series with them that kicks off this Sunday, April 24th, with A League of Their Own. We're going to be doing a talk back afterwards. Tickets are now on sale. I hope to see you there. Tickets are also on sale for May 28th. They're going to be showing Rear Window. And then June 25th, The Dark Knight, my favorite superhero movie of all time. Paul's Trip to the Movies is also brought to you by Popped Corn. Go visit their website or stop into the store today to try a few samples. I was in there just this past week and I picked up 3 bags to pair with 3 different kinds of wine. They recently had a social media post with wine and popcorn pairing, so I knew I had to try it. It was so much fun. So go and stop in there today. Have some samples, pick out some different flavors. Let me know what you're trying. What is popping for you? Send me some pictures on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter. I'd love to see what you're picking up, and follow them, of course, on social media as well at PopkedCornMN. Thank you so much for watching my review of Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.